Welcome to week 7 of the Bald Traveler's Journey to Semi-Retirement. I'm the Bald Traveler Dave.
I'm Susan.
And this week, as a recap from last week, we bought our trailer. And so this week we are now okay. That was kind of the key thing of now we can start really planning on selling the house.
Right.
We have a trailer to move into if the house sells quickly. And everything is going, so we're going down that path. But kind of to start with, I started working in the office 3 days a week. You're kind of working half days, all 5 days of the week now. So we're both out of the house a few days of the week because, you know, at least in our area, the COVID restrictions are starting to come down. And so we are really now into sell mode. We are selling furniture. We are selling everything not bolted down.
Yep.
By this time, unfortunately, everything is sold. As you'll probably notice behind us, there are some things kind of missing. We've also started packing what we're going to be taking, like our Japan wall of all of our memorabilia from Japan, and some of the other stuff have been packed. I've packed up my fly tying stuff, and it's ready to go. We've got some totes, but we've sold our Lazy Boy, and that's gone. We've sold chairs. Dressers, shelving units, we sold some of the bigger pieces. We still got some to go, but we're kind of listing it with friends and family right now, giving them first dibs, and then we'll have to figure out if it doesn't sell, does it convey with the house, or does it, do we donate it to like a local charity or something for their charity furniture store? There's a couple around here that we could do and take something off on our taxes, so we do have options on that.
Yeah, our goal is to get the house to a point where we could walk away if they wanted to buy everything in it, so be it. Unfortunately, we don't have a full set of furniture that, you would want to stage your house with that is at that quality. So we might have to, we'll see if we have to bring in a stager or not.
But in this market, we probably won't have to bring in a stager.
Yeah.
As long as we can get it on the market here as we're planning within the next month.
Right. Make it nice, make it clean, and declutter.
Yep.
We are the king and queen of clutter.
Yep.
So just getting it decluttered is going to make it very, very easy to sell.
And we're also starting to pack up what we're going to actually take. So, we're getting really close on kind of knowing. I've been kind of paring down my clothes. Most people who know me know I have a t-shirt problem. Yeah, so
we're not talking 50, we're talking more like 250.
And I think I'm down to 25 now, maybe 30. So
I'll believe it when I see it. I haven't gone and counted to see what he's done in there.
And then, and so we're going through that, but then we also realized that if we're truly going to leave at the end of September, we've got to do some major things. So we had some RV accessories from the old trailer that I was able to keep. Like a 30 amp surge protector, but the new trailer is a 50 amp system, and while it does have a built-in surge protector, I don't want to burn that up because it's actually built into the trailer, and it would also mean that if we were on campground power and we burnt that up, we couldn't switch over to like a generator or solar or something because it's all tied into that system. So I still have an external surge protector that I bought. Bought some water hoses and a black water tank flush hose. Everything that I bought, I'll put down in the description below, the links to the Amazon. We're not affiliated with Amazon, but just so that you can see what we did, I'll just create a wish list and you can see everything that we've purchased and up to where we currently are. So if you're seeing this 2 or 3 months after we publish it, it may be updated as we bought new things.
I think most of us have been kind of spamming the YouTube videos out there about what are the must-have accessories, and everybody's got one of those videos. We'll probably have one in a while. Then what accessories did we regret spending money on? So we're going to try to watch those so that our regrets video is going to be shorter than most people's. That's the goal.
Yes.
We're still going to have one, I'm sure.
Yes.
We're just going to try to be shorter than some people's.
Yeah. So, and other things that I bought that was really important to me that I left with it because I feel it was really important is an automatic shutoff for a propane tank. So if the hose inside the trailer or something gets a hole in it and starts spewing propane, the tank I've got a device at the tank that'll actually shut it off at the tank, and so we won't drain our entire tank of propane or possibly kill ourselves by having propane flood our trailer, and then spark lights it off, because we do have dogs that like to start and turn on things they shouldn't be turning on.
There was a day we came home and the gas stove, when we walked in, I could hear it going click, 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 click. And we had come in here and apparently there was something in the pot on the stove the dog thought he had to have. And he had turned one of the knobs enough that it was clicking, but the gas was not coming out. So if we were to take a picture of our stove now, we actually have it without the knobs on it. So it's a very nice stove, but it has no knobs on it because we're
worried.
We're worried the dog is going to turn on the gas and blow up the house.
So, and then the other thing that's very important for us, not only for, you know, being able to upload YouTube videos whenever we need to, or keeping the blog up to date, is we need mobile internet because we both work from home.
Well, even when we're not working, both of us will be sitting beside each other we'll be on our internets. We'll be watching separate, you know, movies.
Or we'll be watching like whatever the latest Marvel TV show on Disney Plus is, or, you know, something on Netflix. So I'll put the information for the system that we got, and we'll do a separate video once we get it of kind of explaining everything I've got. And then I'm actually going to have somebody install, it has an external antenna, and I don't want to put a hole through my roof of the trailer myself, so I'm going to get an expert to do it. So I'm going to get a mobile RV tech to come in and put you know, a hole through the roof and install the antenna for us. And then we'll have the modem itself also has 12 volts, so I'll have them hook up a 12 volt connection for the actual modem. And eventually, you know, this is a cellular, so this is using cellular internet, and I'll go over all that when when I actually get the equipment in, because I just bought it and it won't be here for probably a week or so. So once I get it, we'll do an unboxing and an explanation, and then once it's installed and we're on like our first trip or something, we'll talk actually about the internet itself. We are looking at Starlink. It's just not quite there yet for mobile or, you know, travel trailer type of thing where you're going to be in a different location every other week. You know, it's more designed to, you know, be at a house somewhere. So that is something we're looking at, because the cost of mobile internet is expensive, and, you know, that potentially has a lower cost for roughly the same quality of internet.
Yeah, because you have to, when you're roving the way we're going to be doing, we're going to be moving, your cellular service changes, so you have to have multiple options, you have to have backups. Yeah,
we're going to have at least 2 providers. We're going to have Sprint and T-Mobile, and then a backup is going to be Verizon, which, even though they have the better network, is harder to get more of a business-oriented or unlimited data plan through them. So we're going to try to do as much as we can through a Sprint T-Mobile connection, but we'll see. And hopefully, you know, we'll be at Starlink before too long, sometime in 2022.
And in theory, we're going to be like out enjoying nature a little bit more often than we are now, and maybe we won't need as much bandwidth, but being realistic, yes, we're going to have some major internet.
And I've started planning the first of our trips. We need to get to Tennessee within a reasonable amount of time. There's some things we need to drop off at my brother's house in Tennessee. So that's going to be our first trip. And, you know, so I'm kind of working through what our stops are going to be like. I think right now, the first day is we're going to go like 150 miles up to Flagstaff just to kind of get broken in. And even before that, I'm making plans from like mid-September to mid-October, because we're not quite sure when our house will sell. So I'm making plans for an RV park here in Phoenix to be able to live out of if we need to, so that we can tie up all the loose ends before we have to move. And then the plan is like the first week of October to start moving towards Tennessee. I think it's going to take us about 5 days to get there. Because we're only going to be going like 300 to 400 miles a day, and it's like a 1,200 mile trip. So I'm working on that, and then I'm also working on kind of where we're going to be, we're going to get a residency at, because if it's Texas, we really need to plan that into the initial trip out, because we're going to be passing through Texas some portion, so that may affect, you know, how much of Texas we go through if we have to stop somewhere to establish our residency. And it also means it's going to lengthen how long it takes us to get to Tennessee. Right now, I'm leaning more towards Florida, since there's more services in Florida to help full-time RVers establish residency.
We do like the central location of Texas,
we do.
though. That seems to logistically make sense when you look at a map, but...
I also ordered a TSV fuel card. For those of you who don't know, TSV fuel card, TSV is a trucking agency that's in the Midwest, and what they've done to kind of help lower their fuel costs is they've opened up their commercial fueling card that they normally issue to their truck drivers to RVers, so that we can be part of their bulk program. And in general, from what I've seen, you can save between 30 and 50 cents a gallon on diesel fuel when you're going through a truck stop. And since we're going to in a truck with pretty much a trailer that's like a semi would haul behind us, we need to go through the truck lanes anyway. And which you can do, even if you're in a normal car that has diesel, you can go through it. The problem is you have to go in if you don't have a fleet card, which is what this TSV card is. If you don't have a fleet card, you have to actually go in and prepay. So this allows us to pay at the pump just as if we were at a normal gas pump, and it actually pumps through faster because it's designed for pumping into big rigs. So, and I'm mainly doing it because of the savings. I will say two of the things that kind of concern me, but I actually called them up, talked to the people at TSV, and tried to find out why they wanted it. Was one, they want your social security number, and then of course they want your checking account. They want the checking account because that's how they bill you. They don't bill a credit card or anything right now, which is unfortunate, but it does make sense because there are fees associated with that. And you can buy up to 900 gallons of fuel in a day. And at $3 a gallon, that's like $2,700 that, the fees for that add up. And then for the social security number, it's because if there's a problem drawing from your bank account, they need that to turn into collection so they can actually collect from you. And that makes sense. And so I talked to them a little bit about how they keep that information secure, having a security background, and they've got a good system in place. And if you've got questions on that, just put a comment down below and we can discuss, any concerns on that particular card. And I'll put a link down for it down below. We're not affiliated with it. We don't get any referral bonus or anything right now. If it changes, I'll put that in the comments beside the card saying that, we will get a referral bonus or something. But right now, if you're interested, if you're traveling and you want some discounts, I would recommend them, and that's why I chose them. The other thing that I'm doing, and you're doing a little bit, is we're trying to figure out what memberships we're going to purchase. Probably we'll start with the KOA membership. I think we're kind of really on the fence on a 1,000 Trails membership. I know I'm a little concerned. I know that in theory they've changed how their memberships work. We had come out of a timeshare before, and we don't really want to get into it. And a lot of what I'm seeing is that the 1,000 Trails is like the timeshares for RVers.
I do think they're making some changes, but again, I'm not sure how the numbers work out then. So we're still looking into that, but it does, it's got enough of that timeshare feel to it that we're a little.
We're not running out to sign up for it. We will be getting a Harvest Hosts and a Boondockers Welcome memberships, because with those we can kind of camp at either people's places or at wineries, breweries, golf courses, stuff like that, for a night or a couple nights, and not have to pay for a campground at that point. And we've got a trailer now that will actually allow us to do that relatively easily. Yeah. So we're looking at that, and there are other memberships like Passport America, and I think like campground or Coast to Coast or something. Coast to Coast.
There's also some, more private kind of memberships for private campgrounds that are sometimes in more localized areas, but we're looking into it.
So, that kind of really wraps up this week. We're now getting into the process of the logistics of getting rid of everything we own, and then kind of getting ready to move. We will be doing, like I said, a shakedown trip for a weekend or maybe 4 days sometime in August. And then we'll move the trailer into storage so that we can load it up and get everything in there from the house that we're going to be taking with us pretty much. We will be doing some maintenance on the trailer, even though, I expect the trailer to be in really good condition when we get it from the dealer, really clean and pretty much ready to go. We're going to be changing out like a lot of the locks because, the manufacturers use a lot of the same locks. on their on their trailers. So my lock could open up another Montana lock down the road, or definitely the lock to my like under bay storage will probably unlock like 3/4 of the trailers on the road right now. So we're going to be looking at swapping out all the locks with something that's keyed specifically for us, and then everything keyed alike. So all the under storage, the outdoor kitchen, the outdoor TV, the propane tanks, the generator bay, everything will be keyed the same, so that we only have to have one key each to do it. And then like the main door and a couple of the other doors will probably have keypad locks on it too, so we don't need a key. We can just put a code in and get in.
We have to have our gadgets. Bear with us.
So before we wrap up, I just wanted to remind everybody that to subscribe and hit the bell notification to get updates on when we post the next video. And if you hit the like button, that helps us get out there on the YouTube algorithm and get this out to other people with like-minded interests. And we are a channel focused on travel and geeky travel specifically, both internationally and here in the US. So it really helps us if you help us get out to the audience that we really need to reach. Remember, travel boldly. Bye.